Hi everybody, and welcome back to Toadstool Tarot. I got recently the Mushroom Hunters Tarot, created by Joe Buckley. Little bit of a backstory. I found this online last spring, I think April or May, something like that. And it was a Kickstarter. And I had been looking for a while for tarots featuring mushrooms or toadstools, and hadn't really found one that was just to my liking. I don't do Kickstarters, and I hated to wait all the way till October or November when he said this would likely be released. In the meantime, I decided to put together my own Toadstool Tarot using Canva, and that is available at MPC in my open-face tarot shop. But in the meantime, or since then I should say, this came out in November. So I got hold of it. Comes in a really sturdy, thick box with a thumb hole here. There's some little thumbnails on the back, and these are the symbols of the different element suits on the top of the cards, because some of the cards you might not readily identify as what they are and need the help or the aid of a symbol and a number. Also comes with a really nice, fairly thick little white book, and it's very helpful if you happen to be a mushroom hunter or a toadstool fan. There is a disclaimer that you shouldn't go by the illustrations in this deck of mushrooms in order to consider whether consuming them or not. That could be very dangerous. So they're protecting themselves from lawsuits. Now, I want to show you each page in the book, in addition to spreads and other information, has a description and an interpretation of the card. So the Magician, well, let's get there and then I'll read it. So the cards are that sort of stiff kind of card stock that seems to be really popular these days. I'm not that crazy about it. I kind of like the old-fashioned, very flexible cardstock with a sheen. I'm not sure. I think these might be a little bit larger than standard tarot. No, they're the same size. So, I've got this all switched around here. There are people in this deck, but only the court cards. And the interesting thing about this deck is the colors are similar to Rider-Waite-Smith. They use a lot of the Rider-Waite-Smith backgrounds and Pixie's font at the bottom, which is interesting. So here we have the Fool. And here is the Magician. Now I wanted to read you the interpretation for the Magician so you can see how these are handled. The Magician, fly agaric, Amanita muscaria. The fly agaric, also called the fly amanita, was once used as a hallucinogenic by the indigenous peoples of Siberia. The shaman would eat the mushroom, and those being initiated would then drink his urine. The toxic substances causing sweating, nausea, and violent gastrointestinal distress would be filtered out by the shaman's body, while the psychoactive substances would remain. The fly agaric is the most ironic mushroom in pop culture. Or, sorry, not ironic, iconic. my glasses aren't strong enough here. As it often appears in works of fantasy, see Gnomes, Fairies, Mario, Alice in Wonderland, etc. Coming across a fly agaric in the wild brings you into a world of magic. It is a bridge between this world and that of our dreams. The mushroom is a signal that you have the skills necessary to move forward, but discipline will be needed. You're ready to take that next step. And then it has keywords: manifestation, honed skills, resourcefulness, single-minded determination, and potential realized. So that's the way this is. There are descriptions of the horticultural, is it, or biological nature of these mushrooms, and then a very brief comment on it for interpretation. High Priestess here. The Empress. Now, since we don't have people so much in this deck, I mean, the stars or the people of the deck are the mushrooms, so we don't really have actions. It's more of a I call it a non-representational tarot, and probably not good for a beginner. But if you're familiar with the tarot, you should be able to read with these just by the labels and numbers alone. But, you know, it looked like the illustrator tried to hint at characters within the toadstool. Here we have the lovers in sort of a caress. I'm sorry if you can hear noises in the background. My stomach seems to be quite noisy today. Having some digestive issues. Feel free to pause at any time. I'm trying to do a fairly quick flip through here. This definitely seems like a deck for the Cabinet of Curiosities. I don't own decks actually for featuring plants, and I don't know, I might have only one or two animal decks, and those are anthropomorphic figures rather than animals in natural settings. Now here we have our courts, and they do feature human or humanoid characters. Page of Wands here is a fairy. Here's, I guess, a caveman or primitive man. Here's a gnome. And we have the cups. Oh, did I miss one? Yeah, sorry. I think this is very much an acquired taste. And here we have the Page of Cups, Knight, Queen. I like the figures in this, and I think I would also enjoy it as well, if not more so, if there were figures on all the cards along with the featured mushrooms. I like this Four of Swords with the reclining, resting mushroom. I'll be curious to see how I do with reading with this deck, or whether it'll simply be an art collectible. Page of Swords, Knight of Swords. Queen. I like the way they've taken Pixie's backgrounds in a lot of the courts. Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, Knight, Queen, and King. So thank you for joining me today and having a look at this odd deck. And let's see if I'm able to grab my Toadstool Tarot. This is the one that I did myself while I was waiting for the release of this deck. These are small size cards, and I have a full walkthrough of this, but you can see it's similar in a way. Black glossy backgrounds, generally bright colors, It's majors plus 4 element cards and 4 court cards. So it's a little bit different. You can use it as majors only, or you can figure out your own way to combine the elements and or courts. So I thought, with my channel being named Toadstool Tarot, it would be good to have a signature deck and at least one decent mushroom deck in my collection. Thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you soon. Have lovely and joyous holidays.